two-bladed knife, Roland proceeded to stab Samantha 120 times. She attempted to shield herself, but she was trapped.
My soul need peace and need space for me. Money on my mind to keep me company.
What's going on, YouTube family? For those who don't know, I am that man, Alright, now today's reaction is brought to you another scary horror story, okay? So this is gonna be part of the Scary Story Saturdays. So generally what I'm talking about, every Saturday I'm gonna upload a scary horror story. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also turn on notifications. And number 3, give this video a thumbs up so you can see more Scary Story Saturdays. So that's it. Scary Story Uber driver. And let's go. Scary Uber horror story.
21-year-old Samantha Josephson grew up in Robbinsville, New Jersey as the daughter of Seymour and Marcy Josephson.
Oh my gosh.
While majoring in political science at the University of South Carolina,
oh my gosh.
Samantha studied abroad in Barcelona and planned on attending the Drexel University School of Law after her 2019 graduation. Samantha was a girl who showed boundless potential, who was potentially looking at a partial scholarship to Rutgers, but all her dreams would be snuffed out after making just one fatal mistake.
Ooh.
On the evening of March 28, 2019,
These
Samantha
dates
went
are
out drinking
on
with
point.
friends at the Bird Dog Bar in downtown Columbia. At around 2 a.m., they decided to call it a night, and like so many of us have done before, Samantha pulled out her phone and ordered an Uber. Just 9 minutes later, surveillance footage from the Bird Dog shows a black Chevrolet Impala pulling up outside. Samantha steps outside, enters the vehicle, and greets her driver. The man at the wheel was named Nathaniel Roland. And although he didn't say anything as Samantha climbed into his car, he hadn't actually been expecting a passenger. You see, the car that Samantha had climbed into wasn't her Uber. It was just a similar-looking vehicle she'd drunkenly mistaken for her ride. You'd expect Roland to ultimately tell her to get out of the car, but he didn't. He simply engaged the locks, trapping Samantha inside, then drove off. It's not clear whether or not Samantha realized her mistake before Roland stopped the vehicle, but at some point, Roland parked up his Impala, pulled out a knife, and inflicted a sustained and savage attack upon the terrified Samantha. Using a bizarre-looking two-bladed knife, Roland proceeded to stab Samantha 120 times. She attempted to shield herself, but she was trapped, and Roland was armed. As well as several horrific defensive wounds, Roland also stabbed Josephson in the head with so much force that the knife went through her skull to her brain. But the killer blow seems to have come when he stabbed her in the carotid, one of 2 main arteries that carries blood to the brain. Samantha also sustained wounds to her face, neck, shoulder, torso, back, lung, leg, and feet, bleeding out within just 10 to 15 minutes. Roland then dumped Samantha's body in the New Zion field, where she was discovered by a handful of local turkey hunters. The following morning, Samantha's roommates became deeply concerned when they found she hadn't returned home. Police rushed into action, easily tracing her last known whereabouts to the Bird Dog Bar and to Nathaniel Roland's black Chevy Impala. Officers later happened across Roland while he was out driving, and after a traffic stop was attempted, Roland jumped out of his stationary vehicle and began to flee. Inside his car, police officers found a container of liquid bleach, germicidal wipes, and a bottle of window cleaner. But perhaps the most incriminating piece of evidence was Samantha's phone, which Roland had foolishly chosen to keep. He was arrested, questioned, and tissue samples were taken. Disturbingly, the tissues under Roland's nails tested positive for Samantha's DNA. Meaning, whatever he was doing after he'd killed her, it had been rigorous enough for particles of her skin to become embedded under his nails. Roland was soon charged with Samantha's kidnap and murder, and it became apparent that Samantha wasn't his first kidnapping victim. He had apparently carjacked a woman at a stoplight in October of 2018 and was extremely violent in the commission of the crime, beating her and threatening her, before they drove to an ATM to almost empty her bank account. In July of 2021, Rowland was found guilty of kidnapping and murdering, with a judge sentencing him to life in prison. The same judge, a veteran of the legal circuit, said the murder was perhaps the most heartless and severe he'd ever seen, denying Rowland's request for
That's
legal
it for the
assistance.
SSJ.
Rowland
I like
displayed
that one.
some
I'm just more
horrifying
SSJ. So if you
predatory
want to
behavior.
see some, make
stranger
sure you
accidentally
subscribe
climbs
to
into
the
their
channel.
car.
I ain't telling you guys no more. I'm
Correct
tired of telling you
thinking
this.
people simply
All right,
laugh it
and that's
off,
it. Yo, man,
perhaps getting a
Los.
little prickly if they're in a bad mood. But Rowland found a stranger climbing into his back seat, and his first thoughts were nothing short of bloodthirsty. Samantha Josephson made an honest and simple mistake, and Nathaniel Rowland made her pay with her life.
Well, that's it for this reaction video, guys. I pretty much like that little anime horror story. It's pretty cool. I liked it. You know, I'm gonna do some more. It's part of Scary Story Saturdays. So this is gonna be uploaded on the Saturday. We'll learn more horror story Saturdays. So that's it. Yo, man, Los. I'm